When we are worried or anxious, our minds are very loud and they race with negative thoughts, thoughts that are very intrusive and they are not beneficial whatsoever. These thoughts sometimes actually take us away from our day to day activities and they prevent us from enjoying life and enjoying the present moment. Hello there, my name is Jedi. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I create content about mental health because I believe that mental health matters. I am also part of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, which is AFSP for short, where I participate in mental health awareness. I have had close friends and relatives, suffer tremendously from mental health. So I do believe that we need to be there for each other. Do not allow others suffer alone. So I am trying to create a footprint and create a community where we can discuss openly and feel safe discussing these things. So today I am here to talk about how to stop worrying and how to end the cycle of intrusive and anxious thoughts that take us away from our day to day and the present moment. I have 3 steps for you today. And by the way, I am not a licensed therapist, except I have myself suffered and struggled with anxiety. And these are tips and tricks that helped me overcome my anxiety. Let me say that it is normal to worry in life. Nobody's life is 100%, and I do not believe that there's going to be a day where we do not worry at all. But there are worries that are so constant that they become chronic, and that is what we will be tackling in this video. So if you find yourself in a cycle of what ifs, constant cycle of worst case scenarios, then this video is for you. I have 3 tips that will help you overcome that or try and tackle that. So tip number 1 is to set aside some time to sit with yourself. If you have never sat down with yourself and listened to your emotions and listened to your thoughts, you are doing a disservice to yourself. I would like to believe that you love yourself enough to be able to help yourself heal. And to do this, you need to have some time where you sit alone with yourself, no distractions. Hear your thoughts, feel your emotions, and acknowledge whatever it is that is going on in your life at that time. So that's tip number 1. Yeah, that's tip number 1. Set aside time for yourself. That is your alone time. Now that we have set aside some time, let's go to tip number 2, which is writing down whatever it is that you're thinking. When the thought is in your head, it is very, very powerful. It is powerful enough to take you away from the present moment. And that is not fun. And it's not a laughing matter. A lot of people are not enjoying their current state of life because they are worried about the future. They are stuck in what if scenarios that are never ending. They are worried about things that they cannot control. So take charge of your thoughts. Write them down. When you write your thoughts down, you are taking power away from that thought. If, say for example, you're going by your 9 to 5, you are at work and you have this intrusive thought that will not let go. Once you write it down, you've actually taken it out of your mind and you can continue to focus on your work. Now, we still need to tackle whatever it is that thought was. You just writing it down is not enough. Yes, you have taken it away from your mind, like you have taken it away from actively and constantly thinking about it right now, but it will come back if you don't deal with it. So you have written it down. What's next? The next thing that comes is step number 3, which is to challenge the thought. Sometimes the way we think about a situation is not how the situation is at all. And I think that's where the anxiety comes in. People that are anxious, people that have struggled with anxiety, me, for example, when we are overthinking, there is a reason why that is happening. Either the view that we have of the world is that the world is too dangerous, or I don't have a footing in this world, or nobody really cares. I am struggling to find my footing in a place that I don't feel like I belong. And you have created some rules for yourself too. For example, you're like, I should have this at this time. Let me tell you, I personally had this clock where I was like, I am married by 25, I have kids by 28. I am 28 right now and I am not married, you know? So I realized that creating these deadlines and these harsh and hard rules for myself. Because think about it, if I had a friend and the friend was like, "Oh, I should have, been married by 25. I should have had kids by 28 already. I should have had a family. I should have been successful." Like, the world of shoulds and should nots and must haves. I would approach the friend in a very kind way and say, it is okay to not have those things right now, because these are like stuff that you have planned for your future. The future is very uncertain and life is uncertain. Look at the things that you currently have that you didn't have back then that you can actually enjoy. Maybe you have a job that is paying well, or maybe you have a dream job, or you're working at your dream company. Why don't you focus on those positive things and be grateful instead of worrying too much about what you don't have? Okay, so yeah, try and challenge the thought. So, for example, if you are thinking about how you should have been successful right now, if it is something that you find yourself constantly worried about, try and challenge that thought and ask yourself, is me worrying about this thought beneficial to me, or is me worrying about it actually taking me away from my day to day, from the present time, which is preventing me from enjoying my present moment? And in addition to that, it's also preventing me from working toward that future which I have planned in my head. Because if you're constantly worrying, you barely have time to problem solve or work toward the thing that you're trying to achieve. So you see, like, the cycle of worrying is very bad and it's never ending and it's not beneficial at all. So challenge your thoughts. Ask yourself logical question. Is this thought helpful? And what are the chances that this thought is actually true? It is just thought. It could be an illusion altogether. So ask yourself logical questions, but at the same time, please be very kind to yourself. Acknowledge that yes, this is not something that I can control and I am thinking about it, and it's okay to think about it as long as I know I can bring myself back to the present. The worst thing that could happen is that you are already worried, and then you go ahead and be like, what is wrong with me? Why am I thinking like this? I should be very grateful because other people who might not be doing well for themselves are like way worse, and if they were in my shoes, they would be glad. Look, do not ever compare your problems and your worries to other people's worries. Whatever it is, even if the magnitude is not the same, that does not mean that you are not in pain. So never ever beat yourself up and say, how can I think like this? Why am I feeling this way? That is bad. That would just, you will add to that cycle and it will become even worse. So basically, challenge your thoughts by asking logical questions and positively and kindly approaching yourself like you would approach a friend. I hope those 3 tips will help you. To reiterate, yes, to reiterate 3 steps. Set aside some time for yourself. Write down whatever thoughts come to mind and challenge those thoughts. While you have set aside time for yourself, whatever thoughts come in step number 2 that you've written down, You're going to use the time that you set aside to reevaluate, review, and challenge the thoughts. I promise, if you keep doing this, because consistency is key, my friend, consistency is key. You cannot do it for one day and be like, this will never work. I had to learn it because I am one of those people who are like, I think they call us the microwave generation, where you want something to work within 3 seconds. It will not happen. So you have to make it a habit. You have to do it because you love yourself and you feel like you have suffered enough with anxiety and it's time to reclaim your life. So do these 3 steps and do them regularly and try to make them as a part of your life. Don't you just do it one day and give it up. Anyway, it's been me, your favorite friend, Jetty. And until next time, please stay safe and be kind to yourself and be kind to your mind. Because, again, your mental health really, really, really matters. Bye now.